electromagnetic field theory. So the very first topic that we are going to discuss is the Coulomb's law. Okay, so this is a very basic law. It quantifies the force between 2 point charges, right? So we know that if you take any two charges, point charges, right? So if they are like charges, that means both are positive. If both are positive, then they are going to be experiencing a force which is away from each other. Okay, that means they repel. Okay, so repelling force. And if they are negative charges, then also same thing is going to happen. They are going to experience force that is away from each other. Okay, and if they are like charges, that is one is positive and the other is negative, then what is going to happen? They are going to experience an attractive force. That means they will be drawn towards each other. So it is attractive force. Now let us see what is the expression. Okay, so it gives both magnitude and direction of force. So first we will see the magnitude and then we will discuss about the direction. So let's say there are two charges, Q1 and Q2. The distance between them is R. Okay, then the force is given by F is equal to the product of charges divided by 4 pi epsilon R square. Okay, so here Q1 and Q2, they are nothing but charges in coulombs, right? And R is the distance between both of them. And what about epsilon? Epsilon is called the permittivity. Okay, so permittivity of the medium in which they are placed. So if it is placed in air, then epsilon will become epsilon naught, which is the permittivity of free space. Okay, so permittivity of the medium in which the charges are placed. So this is usually given by epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon R. Okay, so this is permittivity of free space. And this is the relative permittivity of that medium. So for air it is going to be, for air the relative permittivity is 1. Okay, and the value of epsilon naught, that is permittivity of free space, so this is given by 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad per meter. Okay, so that is the unit. Farad per meter is the unit. Okay, and one more important relation is the value of 4 pi epsilon. This is given by epsilon naught. This is given by 9 into 10 to the power 9. So this is better if you can remember this. Okay, so this is the magnitude that is given by the Coulomb's law. Next we will discuss the direction. Okay, so here we will assume two like charges. Okay, so one is Q1, the other is Q2. So we are assuming like charges here. Okay, now there are two kinds of forces here. One is the force on Q1 due to Q2 and the other is force on Q2 due to Q1. Okay, so let us take the force on Q2 due to Q1. Okay, so this is represented as F12 bar. Okay, and if we take the force on Q1 due to Q2, then it is called F21 bar. Okay, so F12 bar, this will be equal to, magnitude will be same, the product of charges divided by distance divided by 4 pi epsilon into distance square. Okay, so the distance between these two is R. Okay. Now what will happen to the direction of force? The force on Q2 due to Q1, because we took as like charges, it is going to be in this direction. Okay. So if you take the distance vector to be R12 bar. Okay. So the direction we represent in terms of this R12 bar. Okay. So here R12 bar divided by R12 bar magnitude. Okay. So the magnitude of R12 bar is nothing but small r, right? Where magnitude of R12 bar is nothing but r. Okay. So you can also write F12 bar as Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon r cube R12 bar. Okay. So this is also one way of expressing. Okay. So we can see that we have the magnitude as well as the direction. Okay. So this is the complete Coulomb's law. Okay. So this is force on Q2 due to Q1. Similarly, force on Q1 due to Q2. What will it be? The magnitude is going to be one and the same, but the direction is going to be reversed. Okay. So if you take Q1, it will experience a force in the opposite direction, right? So we can simply write F21 bar. Okay, this is the force on Q1 due to Q2. So this we can write as minus Q1 Q2 4 pi epsilon r cube into R12 bar. Okay, or we can write, if you take the distance vector to be R21 bar, that means we are taking the opposite vector, then we can write Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon r cube R21 bar. Okay, so that is how you can represent the Coulomb's law. We can get both the magnitude as well as direction. Here you can write F12 bar and F21 bar in terms of one another. What will be the relation? F12 bar will be equal to minus of F21 bar. Okay, so their magnitude is same, but their direction, it will be opposite, right? So this is F21 bar and this is F12 bar. So they are opposite in direction. Now how to get the radius vector? So this might be a problem for some of you, so that's why I am telling. Let's say this is point P where charge Q1 is present, and this is point Q where charge Q2 is present. Okay. So if the position vectors, this is the position vector R1 bar and this is the position vector R2 bar. Okay. Then the distance vector R12 bar is given by R2 bar minus R1 bar. So this is how you will find the distance vector from the position vector. And if it is R, this is R12 bar. If it's in the opposite direction, it is simply R21 bar is equal to minus R12 bar. Okay, or you can write R1 bar minus R2 bar. So we discussed the force between two charges, right? Now what will happen when there is more than two charges? Okay, so when there are more than two charges, then how will you find out the force that is experienced due to one of the charge? Okay, so let us say there is one charge here Q1, this is Q2 and this is Q3. Okay, now let's say you want to find out the force on Q1 due to Q2 and Q3. Okay, so how will you find out? So this is simply by the principle of superposition. Okay, so what is this principle? When you are finding out the force due to Q2, you will assume that Q3 is not present. Okay, so first we will find F21 bar. Okay, so if you draw the distance vector like this, it will simply be like this, right? This is F21 bar. So this is the force on Q1 due to Q2 only. That means Q3 is assumed to be not present. Okay. Similarly, you will find F31 bar. So that will be force on Q1 due to Q3 only, and Q2 is assumed to be not present. So this will be, you can draw radius vector, distance vector here. So this will be the force F31 bar. Okay. So once you find out these two forces, the resultant force is going to simply be the vector addition of both these forces. Vector sum of F21 bar and F31 bar. Okay. So that is how you will apply Coulomb's law when there are more than two charges present.